fanfare, yeah. Everything changes, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we've been working a lot this last year with agriculture, and me particularly, with the New Holland folks, who actually this year became the first original engine manufacturer in the world to warrant all of their engines for biodiesel. So I'm a big supporter of New Holland and obviously of biodiesel for obvious reasons. And we're here for the New Holland Celebrity Track Race, CMA Music Fest, and biodiesel.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. You know, Michael's a good friend. One of Michael's biggest hits was Drink, Swear, Steal, and Lie, and we said, you know, that we got to get him as a spokesman for biodiesel. And that's a perfect
that's
it
that's
right
very
there.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a new one coming out. It's called Covet Thy Neighbor, and you know,
What?
and you know, don't rewind your VCR rentals, and
Yeah.
you know, it's a good follow.
No, the new single's called Marriage is a Leading Cause of Divorce.
From these 7 deadly sins.
Yeah.
What's been cooking so far this week? Now you guys just got in town, yesterday, I guess, and are you performing besides doing the tractor?
Absolutely. I've got my booth at the convention center all week long from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Booth number 600. Can't miss it. The big blue tractor there. And then Saturday morning, tomorrow morning, we're performing at the river stages at 10:15.
Oh, that's a great.
And then of course we have the Sunday 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, the Celebrity Tractor Race, which I found out last night, last minute addition to the race, Eddie George.
Very cool.
The Eddie George is going to be in the race along with a lot of the great folks.
Tennessee
Rio. Yeah, a bunch of great folks. It'll be fun.
That is good. A lot of folks in town already.
Oh yeah, it's cram-packed. I think they're all headed to the tractor race. They heard that I was going to be running a tractor, so you know, can't miss that one.
They heard he was singing at Tootsie's, is what they heard.
Yeah.
Were
You got to tell the story. You got to sing at
Now,
Tootsie's
we found
the other
out.
night.
See, now I didn't know you were a musician until this morning. One of our listeners called in and saw you perform at a conference or a convention recently.
Yeah, I apologize to that listener for having the misfortune.
Well, he's still listening, so it can't be all bad.
Well, good. No, I was in Nashville last week, and I spoke at the Tennessee Governor's Biofuel Conference, and then I had a meeting downtown the next morning, so I was tired of being on the road 7 days straight, and I was just going to go down to Broadway, catch a little bit of, you know, beer and barbecue, maybe a little bit of live music, and then get back to the shed and rest up. But got down on Broadway and I came up on these street musicians that were playing, you know, struggling artists trying to break in. And I started thinking about my friend Tommy Armstrong, who's a wonderful musician, best buddy of mine growing up, and I know that he had been doing that, and I'd lost track of him the last couple of years. He'd been going through some things, and I hadn't talked to him in a couple of years, and I started thinking about him, and I walked up, and it was him, and he was playing.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
he was playing, and we both couldn't believe it, lifted our spirits, and he took me around like he was the mayor of the city, knew every band and every bar. And we went into Tootsie's, and he got me up on stage. So I've sung at Tootsie's, and Tommy, if you're listening, thanks a lot for that. That was a great moment.
Boy, that is if you're going to come to Nashville and sing someplace, Tootsie's Orchid Lounge is the place. Hank Williams and Ernest Tubb and all of the greats that used to hang there after the Grand Ole, between sets at the Grand Ole. Well, let's face it, they used to get tanked up at Tootsie's between sets before they went back to the Opry. But the old Ryman Auditorium, as you know, shares that back alley with Tootsie's, and then you walk into that upper level of Tootsie's from the alley and then go back downstairs. So that's pretty cool.
That's great.
Yeah.